Hello everyone, thank you and welcome to this channel where you get to experience and view important recordings that can help you in doing different things. So remember to subscribe to this channel for more informative videos. Today we are going to look at Zoom. Mostly we'll look at the basics of Zoom. So for example, you look how to schedule a meeting and probably now a recurring meeting so that you don't have to create a link each and every time that you're going to have a meeting. And then we'll also be able to look at how to share your screen on Zoom and other basic things. So first, download and install Zoom on your computer or on your device that you're using, so that next time that you want to start a meeting, you only have to launch it. So I'll launch my Zoom, and this is the homepage that you're going to see when you launch your Zoom. Now, what do we do when we are here? So we'll go to the schedule meeting icon and click on the schedule meeting. So on the schedule meeting, you have the topic of the meeting. We have the start date and time, duration that is going to take, and so on. So we don't want to fill in this because we want it to be a recurring link that can be used at any time. So we click on this icon here. We make sure that we check this icon, recurring meeting. And then we have the meeting ID. So we have two options here, generate automatically, and we have personal meeting ID. So we'll go with the option of personal meeting ID. And on the password section, it's also going to give you the option to have your own password, because the Zoom gives you a password, but you can change it. So change your password and so on. And then we also have these different settings here that we can do. The video. So when you launch your meeting, how do you want your video to be? Do you want as the host, do you want your video to be on or off? And the participants, do you want their videos to be on or off? So for my case, I have picked that the host's video should be on, but maybe I might choose that the participants, their videos should be off. And then after that, just go on to schedule it. So remember, when you schedule the meeting, the Zoom is also linked with the Google accounts. So you have also to sign in to your Google account. So this one will just show you on the calendar that you have scheduled a meeting. But this is not the most important part. So having scheduled the meeting on Zoom, if we check it here on the section of meetings, if we click on meetings, we'll be able to see the meeting that you have scheduled, Patrick Mayabis Zoom meeting. Now, and it is already indicating here that it's a recurring meeting. So anytime that I want to meet with any group, whether they are students, workmates, whoever that I want to meet with, I simply come here. You can simply copy the invitation, or maybe show meeting invitation, and you only copy the link and share with your with the people that you want to meet. Or you can copy the whole invitation and then send it to them. So those are the two ways of how you can share your meeting link with the participants that you are targeting. That is the first part. You are now in the position to schedule a recurring meeting. Now, when you go back to home, we have this settings icon here. You can also do some other settings on Zoom. So click on the settings. So first we have the general settings. Most of the settings, they are usually done by Zoom. The Zoom app usually does it on its own. But there's some other few settings that we can change. Probably maybe when it comes to the video, you'll be able to choose how do you want your video to be, and so on. So probably like an example on the meetings, always display participants' names on their videos. That one is important. Then you have this option, turn off my video when joining meeting. So you might want to turn off your video when joining any meeting. And then on the audio, you can also make sure that you test your audio to see that everything is working on well. That one you'll do it on the audio. So you can test the speaker and you can also test the microphone. Share screen, we have this one here, but then that is not so important. Now on the virtual background. Now, what's the importance of the virtual background? The virtual background will help us to conceal maybe the room where we are using. But for you to be able to use this virtual background comfortably, then the background of where you are sitting when you're doing your recording on Zoom must be a plain background. That way it will help you to have a clear virtual background. So on the virtual background, there are those backgrounds that are pre-given or preset by Zoom, so you can choose from them. But you can also upload your own virtual background that you like. Maybe you have your own picture and you want to use it. So there is the plus sign here. When you click on the plus sign, there is the add image. So when you click on the add image, it will give you that option to pick an image from your computer that you want to use as a virtual background. So for example, maybe I go to my downloads. No, let me pick on documents. So I pick that image, I open it. So the virtual background will now appear here. So here, this is the virtual background, and you can easily now pick it from the others. Now, on the recordings, so you can choose where you want your recordings to be saved after you've done your meeting. Remember, some people might want to have the recordings of the meeting later on after you've done the meeting. So you can also pick and see where your recordings will be saved so that you can access them easily and share your recordings. So those are the most important settings that we can do. Having done that, let's now assume that we are doing a meeting. So it is this meeting that we have set that we want to look at. So just come here and click on start. So when this meeting loads, you'll be able to admit your participants and so on. Now, remember, for my case, I said that the recording should start anytime I launch Zoom, so that now you don't forget that, okay, I was supposed to be recording. Here you have the list of participants. So if you have any new participant, there'll be a pop-up message here for you to admit the new participants. Now, that is how you can go on and do the different settings on Zoom. So let's assume now you want to click on the participants. You can choose to mute all of the participants. So you can mute all the participants, but you can also give them. So when you click on the mute all participants, you have the option of allow participants to unmute themselves. Or if you don't want them to unmute themselves, then you have to uncheck this. And then you click yes. So that way, the participants will have to raise up their hands if they want to talk and share anything. Now, the other part, especially now if you're dealing with students, on the chat here, click on chat. So when you click on chat, so you can choose how you want to send your messages. Do you want to send the messages to everyone or maybe to a particular student or maybe person? And then when you click on the three dots there on more, participants, who can they chat with? So if you don't want maybe disturbances in the background when you're hosting your meeting, then you can choose that the participants can chat with no one, or probably they can only chat with the host. But if you want feedback back and forth, then you can pick that the participants can chat with everyone. Now, if it's a presentation that I want to make, we have this option of sharing the screen. So you just click on share screen. And then you'll be given the different options, but then you just pick this first option and you click on share. So now I can be able to share my screen as I present to my participants. So basically, that is how, or maybe the basic things that we can do on Zoom when you want to schedule a meeting, in the meeting, and so on. So thank you and have a nice time. Remember to subscribe to the channel for future informative videos. Thank you.